So I am back. I am back with another up close and personal. Um, this week again has been just a challenging week for me. So of course I want to come to you guys and talk to you about it. If this looks familiar to you, I just got done doing another makeup tutorial. So if you love this look, fall is coming, so that is definitely what inspired me. But if you love it, I will put the link down below to where you can watch it and get inspired for the fall. But let's just get into the up close and personal. This week I'm going to talk about relationships. Last week I talked about texting, and I'll put the link to that below as well. And I'm talking about relationships because a lot of people don't realize the work that it takes to be in a relationship. Um, a lot of people these days just, casual dating, or, they'll say that they're in a relationship but don't really know what it takes to maintain that relationship, make it a healthy relationship. It's just crazy because a lot of people has lost the meaning of relationship, of love, of commitment, of moving forward. So I just want to talk about that today. Okay, so I've just come up with a couple of things just to touch bases on. And number one, okay, to have a healthy relationship, a healthy marriage, is know what you want before you make a commitment. If you're, dating someone and you feel like you like them, or, whatever the case may be, you need to know whether you want to take it to a relationship level, or if, you just still want to be friends. But you have to communicate that. If you don't communicate that, then that person will never know. Okay, and you don't want them to be guessing. You always want to be upfront and honest with whomever you're talking to. But if you make the decision on being in a relationship, then you got to know the steps that it takes to being in that relationship. You understand what I'm saying? So you just got to know, what you want before you say, hey, yeah, let's be boyfriend and girlfriend, but then don't live up to, being a real boyfriend and girlfriend. Okay? So the second thing is have God in that relationship. If you're not a religious person, then I really don't know what to say, because I believe in God, I love God, and He is the center of my life. And He's going to be the center of my relationship. I feel like if you don't have God in the relationship, it makes it even more difficult than, just than everyday life. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be Bible pushers where you're just like, oh yeah, thank you, Jesus. But I do think that, you should go to church as a couple, just to get that, just to get fed. You never know what the pastor, minister, is going to say to you that might touch bases on, maybe some of the problems that you're having in your relationship or marriage. So you never know. Depending on what church you go to, you can, talk to your pastor. You can have, counseling sessions with him or her, So, it's always good to, go to church as a couple and just have God in your relationship. Third, communication. Man, communication is so big. I know that it's hard sometimes to, tell someone how you feel in that moment of what you're feeling, or to be honest, but you owe that person that. That's what I feel. You owe that person that communication. If you're sad or you're mad or you have a problem or there's, something wrong with the relationship, or you don't like something, or something needs to be improved. I mean, if you don't talk about it, then how is it ever going to get solved? You never know. You guys might be feeling the same way about the same thing. And, you won't know that not unless you communicate, But like I said, I know that that's something that's hard to do, but you definitely have to work on that, just to keep the lines of communication going between you and your partner, So number 4 is honesty and trust. You gotta trust the person, I mean, if you don't trust that person and you're constantly, who you with, where you going, I'm just going down the street, with who, you don't want to be that person. You want to feel secure and trust that person, that they're able to go to the store without dipping to so-and-so's house, okay? Or you can trust them hanging out with their friends, and you know that they're coming home to you and they're not giving out their number, or whatever the case may be. If you don't have trust, then the relationship is not that good, because you're going to constantly have stuff in the back of your mind like, well, what is this person doing? I don't know. You're going to feel uneasy. You're going to always be, well, who you talking to, where you going, what you doing, and you don't want to be somebody's mom or dad. You want to just, like I said, have that person, your partner, go off and do whatever it is that they need to do, and you feel secure, in knowing that, hey, I trust them and we're good. I'm not even going to worry about it. We're good. So you definitely have to have that, okay? Number 5 is commitment. Commitment. You got to commit to this person. You have to, go back to number 1 and make that choice that I'm going to commit to this person. I'm going to be monogamous, to this person or with this person. I want this person in my life forever. I want to make the necessary steps to getting to that marriage, or keeping that marriage at the level that it's at. So you have to have commitment. You have to. It's just, if you don't have commitment, what do you got? I mean, if you don't have any of this stuff, what do you got? What do you have? Number 6, you got to compromise and sacrifice. I mean, you can't always be right. You can't have everything go your way all the time. You know what I'm saying? You have to give in at some point. At some point, you got to be like, okay, all right, you're right. I'm wrong. I'm sorry. Let's move on. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta do it. And then you gotta sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? Like, if y'all living together and the bill gotta get paid, and you wanna buy some Jordans, or you wanna buy some, shoes from Just Fab, and the money's like, boo, you gotta make that sacrifice. You gotta say, okay, no shoes today. I gotta go pay a bill. You know what I'm saying? So, you gotta compromise. You gotta sacrifice. That's just the way it goes. That's just like if you got kids. Like, you can't be selfish with your kids. If they need something first, you gotta get it. If the relationship needs something first, you know what I'm saying? You got to give it. You gotta give it. Number 7, unselfishness. If you're all about you, then you don't have room for nobody else. So why are you even in a relationship? Why are you even in this marriage? If you're not capable of, giving your all to another person, then what's the point? There is no I in team. And when you're in a relationship or when you're in a marriage, it is a team effort. Okay? So you can't be selfish. You can't be walking around, well, I no. This is not my house. This is our house. That type thing. You can't, you can't just be about yourself. 8, actions. Actions. You got to show actions to confirm how you feel. If you're telling, this woman or guy that you love them so much, I love you, to the stars above, to the ground, the dirt on the ground, you got to show them that a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You can't just expect for them to go off of word, because nowadays anybody can say anything. I can walk up to a stranger and tell them I love you. I really do. And be sincere and all of that. And I've never seen them a day in my life. So if it's so easy for me to do something like that, then somebody else can do that to you. Or you can do that to them. And you just want your actions to kind of back up with what you're saying. If you're saying you want to move forward and, live together one day or whatever, you got to get to that point. You got to get to that point. You know what I'm saying? You got to show it at some point. And don't drag your feet at it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to go speedy, but you ain't got to be a snail either. Okay? And then 9, moving forward. Moving forward. Anything that you do in life, and this is with relationships, anything, you got to move forward. You can't just stay in one spot. If you are working at McDonald's when you're 16, and let's say you're a cook, okay, you got to move forward. You got to. You're going to go from cook to what? Cashier to what? Assistant manager to store manager to district manager. It's a process. You got to keep moving forward. That's just life. You got to progress. So in a relationship, if your end result is marriage, if you're like, okay, I want to marry this person, then you have to take the necessary steps to get to marriage. You can't just be stuck at one point. Okay? You can't just be stuck at, oh, we just go together. Okay? You go together and then what? You go together and then you move in together. Okay? You move in together, then you get engaged. You get engaged, then you get married. You get married, then you have a kid. Buy a house. Get some cars. It's all a process. It's all a process. You can't just, stay married. You just can't just stay in a relationship. Now, some people do it backwards. They're in a relationship and then they have a kid and, then they might move in together. Whichever way that you do it, you got to progress. Okay? You got to move forward. I'm not saying, what's the right way and the wrong way to do it, but you got to move forward. You got to. 10. Leave the social media out. Okay? It's drama. I'm hearing that it is the leading cause of divorce right now. Like, really? Social media? So just leave that alone. If you guys can't come to an agreement, like, hey, we're all going to be, you change your status, I change my status, you know, you got my password, I got your password, so if I want to go in, you can go in. Like, you guys have to have an understanding. But if there's no understanding about social media, then there needs to not be any social media, because it will 100% mess up your relationship, and you don't need that. You don't need that. So, last but not least, because I threw that social media in there because it was just on my brain as I was talking, like throwing social media, because I know that a lot of people have problems with that. But last but not least, you need love. 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 You need love. If you don't love that person, then none of these things are going to happen. None. Okay? If you don't love them, you're not going to communicate with them. You're not going to trust them. You're not going to commit to them. You're not going to move forward. You're not going to do anything because you don't even love this person. You just, what, knocking the boots, right? No. So, you got to love them. And if you love them as much as you say that you love them, then these things should not be a problem at all. It shouldn't. This should come like sleeping. You know how you just fall asleep? You should wake up communicating with your girlfriend or your boyfriend, having no problem committing to them. Have no problem with showing them the love that you feel for them, that you tell them every day. You should not have a problem at all. So, I just had to get that all off my chest. And I hope that that is helpful to somebody. You know, like I said, it's, you know, kind of been plaguing my week. But yes, I hope you liked, and I hope that it helped. And, you know, thumbs up, comment, and like always, tell me how you feel. I do want to hear your comments and just, you know, how you feel, because I try to just open up and share a little bit of myself with you guys and some of the crazy stuff that I kind of go through or, you know, hear about or whatever. But anyway, I love you all.